Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today I'm back with a Senna supplementary guide, and today I've got a full damage Senna for you guys. Now personally, I still think that the tank Senna is better, and we've done a complete guide on that one quite some time ago now, but I still think that build is better, like the one with Heartsteel. However, this build has been really popular. As a matter of fact, the top 3 Sennas at the time I recorded this video are all using some version of this kind of build. Like some of them skip like Magnetic Blaster, some of them go for it earlier, but basically it's generally 2 Lethality items, Magnetic Blaster and Mole Reminder. So of course I had to go ahead and test it out and see how it worked, and you guys will see how it went later on in the gameplay. But before we get to the gameplay, let's talk about the items, runes and spells. So first up, you're going to start off with either the Spectral Sickle or of course the Relic Shield, both of which are good. Spectral Sickle allows you to not lose any souls, but Relic Shield is a lot safer to stack, so it kind of depends on who the matchup is and whether it is safe for you to proc Spectral Sickle or not. If it is, go for it, otherwise just go for Relic Shield. So for your first item, you still want to go for boots. Generally, it's going defensive boots. Generally, it's going to be the armor boots, because generally in the bot lane there is always going to be an ADC that's going to deal AD to you, unless the enemy team has a lot of mages. Then you can probably go for the Merc Treads. Otherwise, it's always going to be the Steel Caps. So your first item, you're going to go for basically double lethality item. So the first lethality item you're going to go for is generally Youmuu's. Youmuu's of course is really good because it gives you quite a bit of AD armor pen, as well as also giving you the additional movement speed to roam, as well as the additional attack speed when you proc it. And then Edge of Night gives you a little bit more lethality, but it also gives you the extra health as well as the spell shield to help you remain more safe. Now the other options you have for lethality item is mainly going to be Serpent's Fang. So you want to swap in Serpent's Fang and not go for Youmuu's if the enemy team has a lot of shielding. So think about, like, for example, if there is an enemy Karma, Lulu, things like that. But if there's only one source of shielding, you can still afford not to go for shielding, because Youmuu's is a lot stronger than Serpent's Fang. So next up, with the damage from the 2 items, then you want to go for Magnetic Blaster, which is going to give you the additional range, and combined with Senna's already very high range, this is going to give you an insane amount of range, and you're going to basically get a free high damage auto attack, because remember, with double lethality items, your one auto attack is going to do a lot of damage. So you are going to be able to get off a lot of damage with this, and yeah. So finally, you go for the Mole Reminder for the armor pen as well as the Grievous Wounds. You can go for Executioners a little bit earlier on if you need it. And for the boot enchant, you want to go a little bit more selfishly. So you generally want to go for something like a Stasis, in maybe 80% of matches. You could go for something more supportive as well, like a Locket, something like that. So yeah. So for the runes, alright, before we talk about the runes, let's talk about some alternative item options. So of course you can sell your Spectral Sickle at the end, and you do have a lot of other options you can go for as well, like the Runaan's Hurricane, like the Black Cleaver, or like the Maw if you're against heavy AP damage. But now we're going to talk about the runes. So the first rune is going to be a pretty interesting one, because it's going to be Fleet Footwork. Now why are Senna's doing damage build taking Fleet Footwork? Well, basically, you're gonna get a lot of additional healing as well as the extra movement speed as well. So the extra movement speed is really helpful, for you to just auto attack someone once and just run away, or you can do a quick combo auto attack, Q auto attack, and just run away afterwards. And of course, the extra healing you get helps you out a lot in trades as well. So actually, Fleet Footwork is a really good rune for Senna. Honestly, Senna has so many viable runes. Like, she can technically go for Fleet, she can go for Kraken, she can go for Grasp, she can go for Glacial as her main runes, but honestly she can kind of go for a lot of other runes as well. Like, she could technically go for any rune in the game almost. Maybe Conqueror is going to be really bad on Senna. Aftershock is also pretty bad. Lethal Tempo is not that good either, but honestly she could kind of go for just any rune in the game. It's just that these 4 are the better runes. Fleet Footwork really good here. And for your primary tree, you actually have 2 options. So the one I went for in this game is the Domination tree. So I went for Shield Bash, which on Senna is going to do a lot of damage, because you're going to heal a lot using your Q, and this is going to proc your Shield Bash. And Powered Attack to get a higher damage auto attack, Eyeball Collector or Collection to get extra AD, and Giant Slayer majority of the time, for the anti-tank, or just does a lot of bonus damage. So the other way is you can instead go for the Precision tree. So you of course go for Brutal, you go for Giant Slayer, and here you could go for either Alacrity, or you could also go for Bloodline, or even you could go for the Tenacity option as well. So it kind of depends on what you prefer. And for the spells, of course, you want to go for Flash, and then for the other spell, you can go for Heal, or, you know, if you need Exhaust and your ADC doesn't have Exhaust, you can go for Exhaust as well. So with all that out of the way, let's jump into talking about our gameplay. Okay, so now into our gameplay. The first thing I'm going to remind you guys is if you're playing damage Senna, it's going to kind of, I wouldn't say ruin, but it's going to hurt your team comp a little bit, because with the tanky utility Senna, you are actually a proper kind of support, and you are going to be able to actually take quite a bit of damage despite having pretty high damage yourself and a really good amount of utility. So when you go for this full damage Senna kind of build, you are basically just a second ADC, you know, together with your actual ADC. So you're gonna be doing a lot of damage, but you are also gonna be very squishy, and you're gonna die very, very easily. So that's just something to take note, is that your team comp is gonna be quite a bit worse. So here we're against a Blitzcrank Ezreal. And the Blitzcrank has actually decided to roam into our jungle. So I have two options here. My first option is to match his roam, and my second option is to stay in lane. I chose to stay in lane because by the time I saw his roam, I really didn't think I would make it there. And furthermore, I didn't want to lose the souls. I've already actually picked up 2 souls here, so it's kind of alright. Ezreal is also kind of getting zoned off the minions because his Blitzcrank isn't actually here. And Blitzcrank comes in, he's pretty chunked honestly, so he's taking quite a bit beating from my team as well. And we basically get control of the lane because Blitzcrank is gone. So here we get some very nice chain CC with the Caitlyn. Blitzcrank lands a hook on me, but he's already dead. So you can see, you know, it kind of does work out in the end. I do take a tower shot though, so I am not really the healthiest. I'm gonna use my Q to heal the Caitlyn as well as myself. Of course, placing a ward in the river, really important for supports to, of course, ward. ADCs generally are the ones that take the control ward to control the bush, as this Caitlyn did, and then the support generally takes the ward to ward the river. So here I'm standing between the minion and Blitzcrank, so I know he can't hook me, which is why I'm basically just standing right there attacking him. You always want to take advantage of Blitzcrank's hook cooldown, as well as whether he can or cannot hook you. So, because basically, if Blitzcrank can hook you, he's a really, really useless champion. Like, all his power budget goes into his hook. So, if he can't hook you, it basically means he's useless. So, you know, you just want to take advantage of, you know, play around his hook cooldown and play around whether he can or cannot hook you. Because without his hook, or without being able to land his hook, he's basically just a minion just walking around, and you can free farm him on Senna for souls, or on other champions you can try to poke him out, so that if he actually does land a hook, you're in a much better position to actually kill him or, you know, win the fight. So here, another thing you really want to do with Senna is you really want to use your range to bully people. Now, Senna has the same range as Ashe, which is the second highest base range in the game after Caitlyn. So with a Senna Caitlyn lane, this is going to be really difficult for the enemy team to play, particularly the Blitzcrank, because he doesn't really have any range. Ezreal can kind of try to use his poke, but Blitzcrank can't really do anything. So something that I like to do here is to ward the jungle entrance, so that, you know, we can spot anyone going into the river, not just coming, you know, by that bush at the river. So here Blitzcrank roams again, so we're gonna get some tower plates and, you know, proc our Spectral Sickle onto the tower at the same time. So in this game I went for Sickle because I can easily proc it onto the Blitzcrank, because I know that I can pretty much free farm the Blitzcrank for stacks, so I can easily just proc the Sickle. And Blitzcrank is missing again, and Blitzcrank, one of the things he can do, like what you see this guy doing, is he can roam a lot. You know, it's one of the Blitzcrank play styles to kind of roam a lot, but whether that's good or not kind of depends on whether the roams work out or not. But regardless, if he roams, we can just shove in the wave, get tower plates, and, you know, just get an advantage. So now, he's back in the lane, I'm attacking him, I get the root on him, he flashes forward for some reason, trying to go onto the Caitlyn, and he does eventually end up going down. I'm trying to, you know, grab the Ezreal as well. Caitlyn flashes forward, it's a flash for flash trade. Ezreal now stuck at 1 HP, and we are able to indeed get the kill, so it's all good. So here we're gonna get another tower plate, like so. Actually, the tower's at 17 health, so one more auto attack, there we go. Proccing our Spectral Sickle as well. And yeah, we're in a very dominant position. Caitlyn has nearly double of Ezreal's goal, and I have a huge goal lead against the Blitzcrank as well. Now, of course, the tower plate is not the final tower plate, aka the entire tower, really difficult to take because it's really tanky at the end, so we are just gonna back and leave the tower as it is. We can either get it when Blitzcrank roams or like, you know, when tower plates fall, things like that. So here Herald and Dragon are both going to spawn. Now here I was thinking of roaming because clearly a fight is happening at the top lane. So I was trying to make my way there to help out my team. It's a 2v3 at the moment. I'm trying to go there to help them even the odds a little bit. But Gwen is kind of backing, so honestly at this point I should have given up on the play. Teemo just died. So here instead what happens is I try to go into the lane and I try to finish off the kills, but Ornn has his ulti and he's able to not actually ult me, but he is you know, able to kind of deter me. He goes in with the engage, and Lux, it turns out she was still around as well, so I end up dying 2v1 to them despite the fact that they're both low. So kind of a mistake from me there. The moment my team are gone, I should not have really made a play by myself because, you know, at this point I don't really have the damage to kill them yet, so it wouldn't really work out, as you guys pretty much saw. So yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the reasons why I made this play is because I'm so used to playing tank Senna where I do no damage that now that I'm building damage Senna, I think that I do damage, but in reality I don't do as much damage as I thought I would, because, you know, Senna's like, you know, she is an ADC, but she's not really like as high damage as the actual ADC, so it kind of didn't really work out, so lesson learned here. So I have full stacks of Spectral Sickle. I'm looking to proc it either on them or on the tower. I am just procking on the tower, which works very well. Blitzcrank's running in again. I'm just kiting him away. I managed to ult through the Caitlyn onto both of them. I root the Ezreal because Blitzcrank is already dead, so we don't have to care too much about him. And Ezreal is able to escape. I actually paused there, and I actually managed to dodge the Lux root by accident, honestly, because I didn't even know she was there. But kind of works out because we don't get rooted, and now Lux and Kha'Zix run straight into the root. I don't know why Kha'Zix jumped back in there. The dragon was not low at all, and now he's getting run down by me. I flash forward to try to finish him off. I do manage to get him eventually, and Lux goes down to, I believe it was Zed as well. So we get a couple of kills. Ezreal ult comes in, doesn't manage to get the steal, and I'm able to pick up the souls. So we did, of course, also manage to secure the tower in the bot lane, so we're in a pretty good spot. I'm 3-1-3. You know, I have more gold than anybody on my team except my ADC, so I'm in a really, really good spot. When your support has more gold than, you know, other members on your team, something's not right, because support's not farming at all. Everyone else other than the support is farming, so you can really see that I'm very, very fed, and I have more gold than anybody on the enemy team. Lux is closely behind me though, so we're in a good spot. We just want to, you know, continue on doing whatever we're doing. It's clearly working out. Of course, we can't really keep up our farm because we're not farming minions, but we can try to find picks, and we can try to, you know, do what we can. So we already have our Youmuu's first item, so we are getting that movement speed to move around the map, and of course we are also getting that extra lethality. I land the root onto Blitzcrank, so now we're just blasting him. Kha'Zix actually hops over, and I realized that the play's kind of over. I tried to ult to save the Caitlyn, but honestly, I should have just run away because I now get killed by the Kha'Zix as well. Because at this point, like, my ult wouldn't actually have saved her. I mean, it might have saved her for a little bit, but there's no way she can get back to the tower. So since I could have got back to the tower, I should have just left the Caitlyn to die, and I should have just gone for the tower instead of trying to save her. But yeah, sometimes the better way is to just leave your carry to die, because it's better one person dead than two people dead. So not really the best play for me there. So here a collapse is coming in onto bot. Zed is coming over. Me and Caitlyn are coming out of base. Ezreal's really low. Zed goes in with the ulti onto the Blitzcrank. Ezreal now at 1 HP. Caitlyn ult manages to finish him off because Blitzcrank doesn't actually block the shot for him, which is kind of troll. But yeah. So here Lux and Blitzcrank are both here. We have a controller in this bush, so I know we can't be spotted. I'm just gonna go ahead and ward further up into the enemy jungle, getting some deep vision, you know, for my team. And Caitlyn, a little bit aggressive there. We are going to just back off, and she is going for the red buff. Now you can take the red buff if your ADC doesn't take it, but if they are alive and they are able to take it, it's better to get the red buff onto the ADC because they are able to attack more often than you and apply the red buff damage over time. So here I ult to try to give a shield to my team, and it is kind of working out. A huge fight is breaking out. I'm making my way there as quickly as I can. Unfortunately, the root goes a little bit wide, but not just blasting whoever I can. Kha'Zix is really low. I'm going to be able to finish him off. And now I'm getting chased down, so I'm gonna pop the plant and blast the Ezreal away, as well as myself over the wall, so I'm back to safety. And now I can come over to try to rejoin my team. Just Q through to get a little bit of damage onto the Lux, as well as to heal myself and the Teemo. Here I'm just auto-attacking the Ezreal. You can see we're doing quite a bit of damage from our auto-attacks just because of the Yomus. Unfortunately, here I run into a Lux E, which actually kills me because she does have the Ludens, a lot of burst damage from the Lux. But yeah, you know, it is kind of working out. We are dying quite a bit this match. We're 4, 3, and 6 at this point in time. But of course, we are the support, so it's not really that bad to die if, you know, it involves saving our team, or if it involves, you know, killing someone on the enemy team. Of course, we are going for a carry-oriented build, which also means that we are kind of a carry. So it's of course better to, you know, not die. Like if, you know, my team dies for me, it kind of works out as well. So either way, it kind of just works. So here we're building into the second lethality item. Of course, Edge of Night in this matchup is going to be very helpful against the Blitzcrank, against like the Lux bindings, you know, even against Ornn. So here Blitzcrank kind of gets caught out. There's really no way he can escape here, so we're just slowly blasting him down. We do manage to get the kill, and he actually almost escaped, so that's a little bit of a scary one. Ezreal hits both me and Zed. We're both 1 HP, so we're going to have to run a little bit because enemy team is kind of chasing us, and Zed somehow ends up running sideways instead of backwards, so he does end up dying to Ezreal. I'm not sure where he was going with that one. But here I'm just gonna farm up the mid lane minions, and I'm gonna head over to try to join my team. The next dragon is gonna be spawning pretty soon. I'm gonna ward there because I spotted you know, enemy in our jungle. They probably were just dropping a ward there themselves. Here Ornn is popping his ulti. I'm popping my ulti across my entire team as well, to ensure that they get the shield. I managed to finish off the Ornn. Blitzcrank is running face first into me. I'm just blasting him into next week. I get the root on him. Kha'Zix goes in. I exhaust him a second too late, so Caitlyn does end up dying. Now I'm flashing over for the Ezreal, and I'm dodging his skill shots. I managed to dodge the Blitzcrank hook, hit the Ezreal over the wall blind, and I am able to finish the Ezreal. Blitzcrank pops the passive, and I am able to pick up a unofficial quadra kill here. So two back-to-back double kills there. Unfortunately, the kill timer was not quite long enough. Never actually gone like a quadra or pentakill on Senna before, because that's kind of really difficult to do, because yeah, Senna doesn't really, you know, kill people that easily. But anyways, we do secure 4 kills as well as the dragon, and now with those 4 kills, we are super duper fan back into a state where we, as the support, have more gold than the entire enemy team. So with that, we complete our Edge of Night, and we actually go for a stasis here. And the main reason I'm going for stasis is because Kha'Zix can one-shot us, and Lux, if she hits the binding, also one-shots us. So stasis coming in really handy here, just in case we get caught out by one of those, you know, spells. We can pop the stasis and try to hope our team can save us. We also have the Edge of Night now, so that's an extra layer of safety as well against, you know, all of those kinds of things. Ult going across to try to help my Zed get out. Looks like it is successful. He is able to actually get out, and I do heal him for quite a chunk there. He kind of gets bursted down again. Now here I'm just free firing. My veil is still up, so I'm not really scared of anything because any hostile spell is going to be blocked. I'm just free firing onto the Ornn, and Ezreal ult finally does pop my veil. I'm going into the E and seeing if I can bring Caitlyn over to chase down any enemies. Now they're all kind of running away. I don't want to walk face first into the Lux E, so I'm just going to wait a little bit. And yeah, looks like a fight's not really happening anymore because the enemy team have all backed off. So here Teemo for some reason decides to go into the enemy jungle, despite the fact that we know that all of them are there, and he gets just one shot by the Lux. So that's not good. Here they are really low though, so Caitlyn is here. I get hooked in by Blitzcrank, but it's not too important because there's no follow-up. I'm trying to get the Lux down. She's really low. I'm gonna try to ult her down maybe, and we actually do hit her, and we are able to pick up the kill with the ulti. Of course, with the lethality, our ulti actually hurts, so that's really good. Caitlyn's able to pick up the double onto the Blitzcrank. Now here you can see Kha'Zix, you know, basically just gets one shot by us. So the really important thing here is that I saw Kha'Zix coming. You know, from the enemy base. So what I was doing here is I was spam tapping my exhaust. So the moment he appears out of the moment he comes out of his invisibility and appears, he's gonna get exhausted instantly before he has the chance to do any damage. So if you saw, he tried to focus Caitlyn, but he did basically no damage because I exhausted him the moment he was in the air before he even landed off of his leap. So that's kind of one of the tricks you can do against Kha'Zix. The enemy team surrenders and we pick up the dub. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.